Yesterday, the White House invited pop superstar Olivia Rodrigo to encourage young people to get vaccinated. Listen to this.
I am beyond honored and humbled to be here today to help spread the message about the importance of youth vaccination. I'm in awe of the work President Biden and Dr. Fauci have done and was happy to help lend my support to this important initiative.
All right, will it resonate? Let's ask our panelists. Joining us to discuss, Judd Dunning is the author of 13 and a Half Reasons Why Not to Be a Liberal. That book is on your screen right now. And Quincy McKnight and Jennifer Kearns, our panelists for this hour, are standing by as well. All right, let's talk about vaccine hesitancy and the White House's approach. The White House issuing this tweet, specifically mentioning Olivia, saying, "Thanks for stopping by, Olivia, and for using your voice to urge young people to get vaccinated. If we all do our part and get the COVID-19 vaccine, we can defeat this virus once and for all. Let's do this." Okay, and I got to be honest, Olivia's songs are very popular among the younger generation right now. Could be perhaps listening to what she has to say, taking it to heart. Judd, what's your reaction to the White House welcoming this young pop star in their vaccination efforts?
Morning, Emma. Obviously, Olivia didn't read Fauci's emails. Olivia Rodrigo going to the White House is a living testament that capitalism works. She's proof that people will say anything for money. Her new record producers, Faust and Satan, must be ecstatic. Suddenly Biden and Harris care about our kids. That wasn't the case at the border the last 7 months, was it, right? I think the prescient question of our times is, why are Democrats so concerned with poking our children? But all joking aside, look, as for our kids, with 9,000 deaths, 500,000 injuries, and only a 10% effective reporting rate, as well as multiple vaccine warnings and international governments pulling this off the shelves, what is her role and what is her right to tell people the my body, my choice element to kids? That's a lot of influence that she's pushing out there. And suddenly Democrats are focusing on our children when throughout the pandemic, they've been mostly immune to this virus. Now we're grabbing Delta and Lambda and we're running with this. Suddenly we're trusting Big Pharma, Fauci, and all the Democrats as they expand power. This is a very dangerous. I will say this, I feel for Olivia. It would be a very hard situation to turn down such a position of power, but I think it was immoral and wrong.
I think a big takeaway, Judd, from what you were saying there, aside from the opinion and jokes, was the statistics, right? The number of children who are negatively impacted from COVID is incredibly low. In fact, the number of those who become diagnosed with COVID-19 is also quite minimal as well. And of course, Jennifer, when we think about the decision of getting vaccinated, that's one you'd like to have perhaps with your parent or your health provider as well when you are someone that young of an age. What impact do you think these kids might take away from the presence of Olivia Rodrigo at the White House yesterday, Jen?
Well, Emma, teenage stars on TikTok, which is owned by China. This is the perfect storyline running through the White House. I mean, it just never ends. Look, President Biden is welcome to invite whomever he wants to the White House to push this. As you mentioned there, the numbers for children are extremely low to contract COVID. And even if they do get it, they tend to have lighter symptoms than adults. What I find frightening is really the move across the country, Emma, in schools to take that parental notification and the parental approval away from families. And you can bet your bottom dollar that the school systems, which are bought and paid for and run by the teachers unions across this country, including some of the largest districts like the LA Unified School District, are going to try to find ways to vaccinate children, perhaps without their parents finding out or even have to approve of it. We saw this happen with no parental notification for abortions some few years back. I think we'll start to see the same thing this fall when kids return to school.
Okay, Jennifer, predicting a dire situation, of course, that is yet to happen. So we don't want to freak anyone out too much here. But I did want to point out that Elvis Presley received the polio vaccine live on television during the Ed Sullivan Show. This was years ago, decades ago, to encourage others, specifically the youth, to get vaccinated there. Quincy, we've also seen the former Vice President Mike Pence. He got his vaccine on TV, as well as President Biden, Vice President Harris as well. A lot of celebrities have posted their own vaccine cards on social media. Quincy, do you think this could convince people who are vaccine hesitant when you see familiar faces getting the vaccine live on TV?
one of the beauties about America is that you have the choice to take this vaccine or not. The independently, if you choose to do that, then that's your right. But I don't think that taking pop stars and emotionally trying to get in the minds of people just because you see a superstar or a politician taking the shot doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go do that. You have to study and find out the facts for yourself. Don't just depend on social media or pop stars to show you how to live and how to be American, quite frankly. So I don't believe that I think this is just another ploy of this administration getting into the minds of our lower income housing areas into America and trying to influence them to go and get these shots and go and using pop stars, because I don't even know who the young lady is. And that's okay because she's not my generation. But I know this is just another ploy. And we have to be very mindful of those type of things.
Okay, and again, the FDA emergency use authorization are for people ages 12 and up, and if you are younger than the age of 12, even most recently from Dr. Fauci, and above the age of 2, you've still got to wear a face covering during this time. And I know I see our panelists shaking our heads. That's a topic for another time completely. Unfortunately, out of time. So our panelists, Quincy and Jen, stick around. Judd Dunning, our thanks to you for joining us today. Judd Dunning's book, 13.5 Reasons Why Not to Be a Liberal. It's available everywhere books are sold. You can save some time. You can go to newsmax.com/13. That's going to take you straight to the link to purchase the book to read more about Judd's opinions. Stay with us. More National Report will return right after this.